Watsonville Aboriginal Corporation has a vision for people to move back on country, to look after country, to get the community involved, to get the land managers involved and to be trained and to think about maybe doing something long-term on country.
The northern bettong is quite a threatened animal. The main population is not very far away from Mbabaram Country, and that's why this area is really important as well, because it's pretty much the closest habitat to an established population. So we've partnered up with country managers.
We're involved in setting up camera traps for northern bettongs and northern quolls around Watsonville area.
Didn't even know what bettongs was.
Yeah, I didn't really know what a bettong was.
Didn't know what it looked like.
Right, all good. We're going to turn around and put the cameras out on the way back home.
This area that we're in now is one of those last refuge areas for the northern quoll in this dry country. They are extinct over about 90% of where they used to be in Australia.
And this, it's the bettong bait.
Trigger the camera to turn on, take a photo, so we can measure how tall the bettong is.
So the students were learning about the vegetation associated with the bettong and the quoll sites. Spotted gum there, but also our traditional plant usage. That milky sap, that's medicinal as well, so you can put that straight on a sore. You can get rid of warts. It's like soap, it gets really suddy and then they wash themselves with that. Another one of those fish poisons as well, to bring the fish to the surface. Acacia purpureo petala. We've got the only purple wattle in the world and it's endemic. It's only found on Mbabaram Country. No one's been able to grow it so far, so Cherry, when she gets her nursery built, we're going to be trying to grow that as well.
I didn't really know there was a lot of that. New to me. And it's good, interesting knowing about it.
We're up here at towards the head of the Walsh. They're learning to read maps, and not only read the maps, but come up onto country in real time, and learning how to read GPS, retrieving the cameras of our bettong and quoll survey.
For a land manager, it's very important to know your own country, because it's very different looking onto a map than going out and
This is the overhang where our ancestors used to camp here, and also we have an archaeologist with us that when we come to places like this, she looks and teaches the students to spot artefacts.
It has been worked, but it's also not a local raw material. So it's been brought in here by people. There might be more in this area. So Jordan and some of the others are out looking in the rest of the little boulders around here, see if they can find other things.
I found a couple of cave sites, possible artefacts of people making spears, and maybe I found a painting, but we're not too sure.
Yeah, that's
the difference.
Yeah.
And that's nothing like that. These red lines.
I really like archaeology because it shows what the people of the past, what they were doing and how they worked and travelled around and how they survived.
It is rhyolites, again, but it's a very, very different colour rhyolite, as you can see. This can be used for lots of different things or be made into a tool, and we're going to record what type of platform we have too. Maximum dimension?
9.80.
I liked actually finding out what you could see in the camera.
This information is kind of the starting point, and we're going to work from here. So having on-ground management is so essential.
Fire is the #1 tool and the #1 danger.
This has got no medicine here. It should have medicine. There's no food here, and that's why the betons and all those animals, they're missing out all the food. Yep. All their habitat is slowly being suffocated, strangled away. Yeah. And that's all because of the wrong fire management. It doesn't matter how much fuel you have, you can always burn it cool. And that's all to do with moisture, time of year, and your ignition points. So then the old fellow would say, all right, time to burn all the gum country. You're going to go walkabout now. And what happens, you walk and you burn all the gum. Burn, 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 all the gum country. And nothing else will burn because nothing else will burn, because only gum will burn at that time of year. And what you'll find is that when the animals lay their egg, emu, and just when you finish the egg, the grass turns ready to burn. It's all in sync with the system. And that's what we call reading the country, reading the landscape, and be able to understand the land and know when to apply management when the land tells us to.
The thing I liked most about the project was going out on country and seeing country for the first time. The trainers of the project taught us a lot. They were really knowledgeable.
Yeah, found out heaps about bettongs and quolls.
I learned a lot more about the land. Something I could use like further down the track, and if there was a ranger's course was to come up, I'd be interested.
Hats off to the women in the kitchen, first of all. The cooking and the food was, and the service and hospitality was amazing. And I've just really enjoyed working with the country managers as well. They've been absolutely wonderful.
You know, they're soaking up lots of info, and they've really taken the challenge.
And that's about building up our capacity, and to be empowered as a community, but also as an organisation, and we can build on this together with our partners.
No matter where you are, who you are, or how big the project, if we're all starting to do it all over the country, then we're starting to reverse that process and starting to get people happier.
You've got a little bit of momentum happening. Can you go forward with any of it?